you care for me.
Hey guys, welcome to the 5th episode of the Three Kings Bourbon Podcast. We're here at Happy Hour Bar and Liquor Store. I am Shane Burks. This is
Bryce Wilson.
And that is
Tucker Schroeder.
Well, we want to first start off by saying Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Yep.
It is the 23rd of November, and we're
Blessings.
happy to be here with you guys. If you're tuning into this after Thanksgiving, I mean, we're just celebrating Thanksgiving. So let's go and kick it off. We're going to do something a little bit different this week. Not going to do bourbon news. Guys, let's talk about what we're thankful for.
Yeah.
I want to go first.
Okay.
Can I go first? Man, I'm thankful for a lot of things. First of all, I'm thankful for you guys. I really am. I'm thankful for you gentlemen. Y'all are family to me, and that leads me to my point of family, man. I'm very blessed to have a really good family. I love my family to death. I live for them, do things for them. That's my driving force. That's my why. So family's got to be it. And then overarching for everything for me, my relationship with Christ, to me, is the most important thing in my life. So I'm very thankful for that as well.
Amen, brother.
And I'm thankful for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm thankful for Arby's roast beef sandwiches because I knew he's going to say something about that.
So I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I will say I am also thankful for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah, I am.
Not Arby's.
But more than anything, I think one thing that you hit on, I am very thankful for being able to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. That is something that I'm working on, my walk of faith. But also, more than anything, I'm appreciative for my family, my girlfriend, my puppy, Deuce. Appreciative for all of them. But yeah, I'm appreciative for you guys. Appreciative for opportunities, and I'm just glad that I was able to wake up today.
Amen, brother.
Yeah. I think on this Thanksgiving, I think one thing that as soon as I've gotten to Kentucky, I've always been blessed with being able to meet incredible people. Coming from Florida to Kentucky was such a cultural shock for me, but I never questioned anything. I just always had great people around me. I do truly believe that is because of Christ. I think he put me in the right spot. So I'm forever indebted for that. Furthermore, I mean, obviously my wife, she's my number one. She's my why. She challenges me every day. So I'm thankful for that. My family back home, they challenge me every day. And I think overall, just you guys, the situation we're in now, the opportunities that have been presented to us already recently, and that might be coming down the line, I think have been just, it's normal for us because we talk about it every day and like our dreams are like whatever, but when you put it into perspective, like we have a ton to be thankful for. And all I can say is super thankful for everything going on right now, but stay tuned because we got some stuff coming.
We got some stuff coming, man.
We are
excited.
cooking some stuff up.
We're cooking some stuff up and maybe bottling some stuff up, but
maybe. I kind of want to hit on one more thing. So, just kind of one thing that we were talking about as far as like being thankful. I mean, I always try to do like a mindfulness meditation every day, and I think about the problems that I do have.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that us ourselves and that others got to keep in mind is our problems aren't as big as other people's problems. As it's getting colder, there's people who don't have homes. So I think maybe one thing that we can do is look forward to maybe doing some donations to seeing if anyone has, and this is just something I'm coming up with on the spur of the moment. If you guys have any clothes you guys want to donate, if you guys have any funds you want to donate to, homeless or anything that could be in need as this winter comes on, let us know. We'll push forward towards that. But yeah, we want to help people out. So I think that would be a great opportunity for us. For sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we're holiday season. It's not just Thanksgiving. We got Christmas coming up and just time of year. Yeah. I mean, that's something that really should be thought about year round. But to your point, absolutely, man. It's just a good time of the year to look into some things like that.
For sure.
So, so a little more serious than we're goofy, but we're serious men and we're very thankful. And honestly, I think all of us could sit up here and do 30, 40, 50 minutes of thankfulness. But I mean, I'm just trying to hit on it and keep moving, man. But I feel very blessed and very thankful. And I think we all are on that, that same path and that same level of gratitude that we have in life. So, One thing I'm thankful for that's not quite as serious, as my family, but it's just Green River on the table.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and get into that. Tucker, you want to start us, kick us off? Or?
Yeah. So today we are going to be talking about Green River Distillery. This bourbon right here in front of us is actually their wheated bourbon expression. This is a shelfer bourbon. You can go in and find this bourbon typically around $30 to $35. I think here at Happy Hour it's around $35. But you can walk in right now and grab that here alongside the other Green River normal bourbon. So this is their wheated mash bill. In episode 3, we talked about Bardstown Bourbon Company's wheated bourbon. So going back to the well, another wheated bourbon here coming from Green River. One thing I always think is interesting about Green River, their products have kind of recently popped up, but this is an old distillery. I mean, this is DSP KY10. So this distillery's been around for a very long time, been making bourbon for a long time, just for other people though, just in the background. But now they have their own products, and recently was purchased by Bardstown Bourbon Company. So they are working in conjunction. Well, I guess Bardstown is making them work in conjunction with him. So I think there's a lot of great things to come out of Green River, but this one in particular, the age is not stated on here, but that is lead to believe it's at least 4 years old. What is the proof on that, Bryce?
We're at 90.
90 on that one.
Am I right, Shane?
You are correct. Yes.
So just a good sipping bourbon here for the Green River Wheated. So this one came out just recently. So this was the second one.
Yeah.
And I think Green River is also looking to expand their line, single barrels, barrel proofs, barrel picks. That we'll start seeing those pop up here and there. So super exciting stuff. I'm ready to.
Let's get a nose on it, man. Let's go get a nose on this thing.
This is a cool bottle, though. Like how it's got like
the bottle's
flat front.
The bottle's awesome. And then rounded back.
You see that?
Kind of the horseshoe.
Yeah, and it's got the horseshoe on the front, and it's got the horseshoe.
Great design.
Came out pretty recently, so and it's something that is super cost efficient. So this might be one that you guys can quickly go out and grab.
Right off the bat, big wheat funk, I think, on this one from the Green River.
You know what's crazy? For me is with this being 90 proof, I'm getting ethanol up the nose. I mean, this is like it's kind of hard for me to pick out a nose because I'm so like smacked in the nose by ethanol, which is odd for a 90. I usually don't get that at a 90 proof.
I guess this is kind of corny for this, but it's like honey wheat bread.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something.
That yeasty baked bread.
Yeah.
I think
you were about to say something crazy, and you were like,
I think Weeders, and you alluded to that in episode 3 too, where you kind of some bready notes, that yeasty bready, type of thing going on.
Yeah.
And I think I get that here too. I think one of the overarching notes that I get is definitely a earthier, funkier note. This one's definitely a little bit more funkier to me than the Bardstown that I know we're comparing the two, but a little bit more funkier in complexion, maybe not as sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm definitely picking up some more savory notes too in comparison to other wheateds, I would say. I
would have to disagree with you as far as the funkiness note. I'm not getting that. Where you may be picking that up. I got it some more of that funk from the wheated expression for Bardstown. However, that bread like that. I mean, it's bread. It's like kind of like a sweeter bread, but that ethanol is really strong, man. It's kind of off-putting. I'm not really caring for how strong it smells to be at 90 proof. Like I can bypass that a bit when we're at 120. Right, but I'm like, this is 90. I'm like, why? I'm starting to get it, but I just don't like that it's that present. So
I'm getting some of that, like, as I said, like honey wheat bread, but there's it's that ethanol, but it's almost like this is weird again, like a cologne with no cologne.
Yeah,
just the ethanol, like
alcohol-y.
It's like it's alcohol-y, and it's just kind of it's a little off-putting, I guess, the ethanol sense of it, but I mean it's pretty just straightforward.
Yeah,
just wheat.
You want to rank it, Tom? You want to get started?
This one's not doing a ton for me on the nose. I think it's okay. I think something's a little off-putting to me. I think I'm getting some type of like savory note on it. Like I think the best thing I can describe it as is like maybe like French toast, but it's not sweet. Like
Okay.
it's like eggy almost. When I mean that in like a good way, if that's okay.
No, that's
Like if
Yeah.
you have French toast that has like no cinnamon or nothing on it, it's just French toast.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel like it smells like. If
Like
that
a
makes
plain
sense.
French toast,
Like
yeah.
plain French toast, no syrup, sugar, nothing. So this one to me, not doing a ton for me. I actually, when I first had this bottle, I actually really enjoyed it. I think it's kind of my opinion's changing on a little bit. So I'm nose wise, I'm like 2.8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll follow you up, and mine's quick. It's 2 flat.
Yeah.
If 2.5 crowns is dead center, that's dead middle, that's average. It's below average to me. It's not bad. I don't think this smells bad. It just doesn't smell good. It's just like, and it's a little under average for me. So I would have to put it at 2 flat.
I'm gonna go 2.5 crowns. It's not smelling great and it's not smelling nasty.
Mhm.
But I mean, for what it is, it smells like what it is.
Yeah.
So 2.5, it's even cute.
Well, let's sip it, man. Let's see.
jump
I'm
into
really hoping that I'm liking this.
Hope I'm wrong a little bit here.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm
Yeah.
kind of hoping I'm enjoying this a little bit more than the nose. So let's see.
Straight off the bat, it's not very viscous, but it's very light on the palate, as some people would say smooth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Super light on the palate. Not very like coat your mouth, but it's something that it's simple to drink. It's not nothing that's gonna like knock your socks off.
I think this is an excellent bottle for somebody who doesn't want to climb too high into proof.
Yeah.
And maybe is not like we're just now maybe getting into bourbon where you're
Or
not
wants to
needing
jump into a like an entry level weeder.
This
That's
is
not
excellent.
Maker's Mark.
This is excellent for that.
I feel
Correct.
like Maker's Mark is the go-to. Like, jump into a weeder, Maker's. I think this is going to offer you something different. I think there's definitely some complexity on that palate.
Yeah, I mean, we've said it before, and we'll say it again. I would say all three of us are pretty well proof hounds. I mean, we like higher proof bourbon, but for this being a 90 proof bourbon, the flavor is still there. Now, albeit it's not complex, there's not a whole lot going on with it, but it's very approachable. It's very sippable, and it's solid.
Yeah.
It's kind of how I feel about it. But I'm not really getting any like distinct notes. It's just like bourbon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think for
bourbon.
me, I some of that maybe funk tone translates over a little bit. Definitely not as much. I think what the overarching note for me on this one is, like I'm definitely starting to pick up a baking spice. I think it's leaning towards cinnamon.
Mhm.
So maybe you throw some cinnamon in that French toast now. It would be kind of that. And then I think it sweetens up a little bit towards the end. Not a ton,
Mhm.
but I think I don't think it's like great, but it's definitely better than the nose for sure on the palate.
Yeah. I mean, on that note, I mean, you guys are you ready to rank? Or I mean, I can start off.
I would say I'll kind of give my thoughts and then go ahead and rank.
Sure.
I would say this would be. I mean, bourbon in general is going to be great for the fall and winter. This would be a great bourbon for like a day like today, like Thanksgiving time.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't. I wouldn't necessarily say this would be something that I would be like, late at night sipping by the fire or whatever. Maybe just like if the family's over. It's let's get a drink. This would be something easy to crack open.
I think there's some lightness to it, and it's approachable in the
Yeah.
fact that you can, if you have a family member, maybe you're watching this right now with a family member who loves Jack Daniels or loves Jim Beam, and that's all they drink, and they put it in Coke or whatever, and you break this out, I think they could drink this and be like, oh, that's pretty good. Like,
I agree. I would agree with you on that.
The term, smooth. I think it's smooth. I think it's
Yeah.
approachable.
Yeah. And we hear that term. People say that all the time. They're like, "Oh, is it smooth? Is it smooth?" I mean, that's such a I don't know. It's such a blanket term, but I think this is.
Generally, when I think of smooth, I mean, with our palates, I try to think of, and that's what I always say, is like, is it light? Is it light on your palate? Like, is it not something that is going to be super harsh or something that's not, I don't want to say dissipating, but just something that's just not there. It's lacking, but it's very just simple, subtle light.
This one is.
And I think that this is that literally. I think I will say this for a person, and we've alluded to it. If you're not a bourbon drinker or you're trying to get into it, this would be one to ease yourself into.
Absolutely.
This would be a higher class, not something that you're going to see every day. Maybe switch it up from whatever you're trying. Something that you could easily get into. And with that, I will say that I'll give this 2.9 crowns.
Okay.
I wanted so bad to give it 3
Yeah.
because it is good. But again, and you're going to hear us say this over and over ad nauseum, it's my palate. It's not nothing that I'm like, wow, this is like knocking my socks off.
Yep.
It's so good. But again, if it's something that it could be easily approachable. So 2.9 crowns for me.
I think it's fair, and I think that your logic behind it is similar to mine, where I think that even if you are a bourbon drinker, but you're not like a bourbon nut like we are, you're just a casual bourbon drinker. You just enjoy a bourbon. Go get this. It's good for you to do that. And like Tucker mentioned, it's here at happy hour, so this is a great place to stop by and grab it. With that being said, for my palate, for the things that I like, it's above average, like just an average bourbon. It's above that, but for what I like, I can't go past 3 crowns either.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna be slightly lower than you at 2.8, which sounds harsh. It sounds bad. It's not bad. It's just that I don't drink a lot of 90 proof bourbons.
it's not awesome,
and I'm not. Yeah, it's just not. But it's good for what it is, and I think that there's definitely a place for it for a lot of people. So I would recommend it for a certain demographic of bourbon drinkers.
For sure.
100%.
Yeah. I think it bumps up a little bit. I can't get it into the 3s either. Right there with Shane. I think I'm right at 2.9. It's good. I think it has its place on the palate. I think it's very approachable. I think that's a big word for this bourbon right here. It's approachable. If you're not into bourbon, I think you could drink this and be okay with it. But yeah, 2.9. It's not knocking my socks off complexity wise, so I can't get it into the 3s.
And if y'all don't care, I'd like to go ahead and start on the finish, because I do have a positive note on this finish that I'd like to get into. So, with it being pretty straightforward to me, like it's just bourbon, just wheated bourbon. That's just what it tastes like. There's not like a ton of stuff. The finish is better than the palate to me.
Okay.
And that's for me. I don't know. Like there's almost like I'm starting to get a little bit of like a spiced oak on the back end. And a little bit of that sweetness from the wheat is all playing around, and it's staying longer on my tongue than I expected it to be honest. Like I'm actually, as I'm talking, I'm like talking myself into a higher ranking for this finish. And with it being 90 proof, it's going to be watered down a bit more than 120 or 130 proof, obviously. But I think it's doing a really good job at 90 with the finish. So I'd like to go ahead and I'm giving it a 3.5 crowns in the finish.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Which is
That's dope.
pretty good for me.
That is really good for a 90 proof bourbon.
Yeah.
If you're giving it a 3.5, that is up there
On the finish. Absolutely.
I'll say it's a little bit better than the palate. I'm gonna give it 3.1 crowns. It's good and it's not lacking. I feel like that those baking spices are coming out towards the end. Not necessarily staying with me, and that's okay because it is 90 proof. So I'm not gonna, take points because of that. But 3.1. It's just above that 3 echelon. 3.1 crowns for me.
Yeah, it's tough. I think it's approachable. If I'm keeping it on my scale though, I think the finish does. I think it has good things. I think the baking spice note, that's a good one. I think that's what sticks with me the most. But it doesn't stick very long, like not at all, really. So, front and mid palate, maybe a little bit, but nothing on the back end that I tend to like. And I 2.5,
okay,
on the finish.
Yeah. That's average.
Yeah,
that's dead center. That's right in the middle of it. So,
let's get into our final rankings.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and start. Again, I hit on this 2 weeks ago with the weeder. I think I'd venture to say if our palates were geared to like something like this, if we were 90 proof, if we really liked wheats, I would say we'd all be in the 4s.
Right.
I would agree.
I would say that.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that to say if that's something that you are into, you like that 90 proof, you like that wheat, get it because it's good.
Yeah.
For me, I'm gonna stay right around that 2.8.
Yeah.
It's not a 3. It's above par. And that is saying something because I've had a lot of bourbons that I'm like, this sucks. And this is above par. So I'm gonna say 2.8 crowns. It's a good bourbon, just not really doing a lot for me as far as the proof goes, as far as the flavor profile goes. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and just say the same thing because it's crazy that you said 2.8. That's literally what I was thinking of already. So, sometimes we'll disagree. Sometimes we'll be on the same, on the same level. And for me, it's the same reasons. I think it's excellent for what it is for the people that would be into something like this. It's just not my cup of tea, not my Glenna bourbon. But that was corny. I can help it. Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to give it, I can't give it a 3. There's no way I can give it a 3, but it's better than average. It really is better than average. And I think there's a place for it in the bourbon market and a good place for it.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm going to throw it right in at a 2.8. It's just not going to be on my shelf, but it should be on yours if that's something, if you're around that proof level that you like. And again, if wheated is something that you enjoy, it's worth it. But 2.8 for me, 2.8 crowns.
Man, I'm thankful for you guys because you guys pretty much just said everything I needed to say.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, though, for my ranking, my personal ranking, I think it's just, it's right there at average, maybe just a little bit above. So 2.6 on the final ranking for me. I think one thing to note about this bottle in particular, when I first got it, I really liked it. I thought when I cracked it open, I was like, man, this is good. And then opened up a little bit, and I don't think it opened up to where I would maybe it sits with me as good.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that one thing to note about this Green River bottle in particular is I do agree with the fact that it's very approachable for a bourbon drinker looking to get into something new. Like if you want to get an affordable price point to get into something new, I think this is an awesome one to go pick up, especially if you're looking to steer away from those wheat, like the typical wheaters like Maker's Mark. I mean, if you want to be a little bit off the beaten road, I think this is one you should pick up. Now, with that being said, I think when we give lower scores, I think that should be with the caveat that it's just maybe not for me. Right.
Sure.
And I'm not going to gravitate towards this bottle over other wheaters. I'll definitely gravitate probably to that Bardstown more than this.
Yeah.
So Old Fitz 19. No.
Yeah, right.
So I think it was awesome that you said that because I wanted to hit on the point that when you guys are watching this, don't take our numbers super seriously because our numbers are describing what we think about it.
Yeah.
If you are watching to find a bourbon that you might want to go try, listen to the words that we're saying because we're going to try to give you guys a descriptive as description as possible. And we're going to try to emulate what it might be on your flavor, on your palate.
Yeah.
So don't really, sit on our numbers. If we're giving something a 4 or a 5, for us, it's awesome. It's spectacular. Like it's something, and we've had a lot of bourbons, so it had to really be killing it. So again, I just wanted to reiterate, especially for like newer people getting into bourbons, listen to what we're saying. But not necessarily the numbers.
That's a great point, Shane. That's a great point. I mean, and it's I always bring bourbon back to food, but a lot of times I may have something. I'm like, that's well made. It's a good food. It's just not what I like. It's the same thing. It's taste is taste, and that's any palate. What'd you do, Tucker?
I spilled the water. Actually,
oh my gosh.
Well, Bryce, speaking of food,
yeah.
It's Thanksgiving, man.
What a segue. Right
oh, that's a great good job, Shane. That was smooth as butter, baby.
Speaking of food, let's get into the King's Court, man.
What's on the plate tonight,
What's
man?
on
the plate for King's Court, man?
All right, let's do it this way. What is something that is the first thing you're like? So the first thing you're going to, your favorite, and what is something that you are keeping off your plate?
Ooh.
Okay, all right. I have a pretty strong stance regarding Thanksgiving food. You
about to piss me off.
I just know
just the way you about to piss me off. Go ahead, Tucker.
I can't remember how y'all feel about this or not.
Something.
I don't think cranberry sauce belongs anywhere on a Thanksgiving plate at all.
I'm done.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Wait. You dapped him up on the.
Cranberry sauce is terrible, bro.
I thought you were like, all right, I'm out of here. I thought you were like,
no,
please,
because you already hit. Exactly the one.
If you put cranberry sauce on like your mac and cheese, you're a loona.
Not on your mac and cheese. Who puts it on their mac and cheese?
I think people do it with their stuffing, right?
Can I tell y'all? Let me
go.
Go ahead. You know how like sometimes the turkey is a little dry and all that. Man, when you put a little cranberry sauce on that turkey. Gravy. No, okay, I'll put gravy on it too. But I'm telling you, bro, just do it. It's this little sweetness with the little saltiness of the turkey. Crazy.
I'm gonna say this.
Crazy.
I don't like cranberries in general. So
you like cranberry juice?
No.
That's why your kidneys is sick.
How you gonna talk about my kidneys?
I don't know about your kidneys, but I like cranberries. I mean, I like cranberry juice, and I like crap. Man, that's crazy. But anyway, what do you like for your plate?
So I think if my number one item on my Thanksgiving meal, I think
You better come with it. You better say something I like.
I'm coming with it.
Come on,
you like?
because
It's all about you.
It's his
It's all about you.
It's his
It's all about you. To me, if the mac and cheese ain't doing something, I am upset. You know what I'm saying?
you said something, brother.
Respect.
So I think it's a simple side. Really, in theory, it's macaroni and cheese.
Is.
But I think there's a lot of room. If the mac and cheese is not doing it for me, then that's a big
It's
thing.
a big
for
deal.
me
It's a big
personally.
deal.
No,
I would
it's a
agree
big
with you
deal.
on that.
Yeah.
So, rest in peace to my late great Aunt Barbara. She was the mac and cheese queen of the family. Somebody had to pick up the slack. It's me. I'm the mac and cheese guy now. So it's a big deal for my family. It's a big deal for us, the mac and cheese on the plate. So that's what, like, I'm going to do mac and cheese probably again this year. I saw something, and I want to hear what y'all have to say about this because we haven't talked about it. I like stuffing.
Okay.
However, I saw something on Instagram, and it was a seafood stuffing. And it was like a seafood stuffing, and I'm gonna do it this year.
So my thing is what's the need for that?
Because I like seafood.
So I get it, but like, why the stuffing?
What else would it go in?
I don't know. You could just make seafood by itself.
Yeah, but that's weird for Thanksgiving. It's still a Thanksgiving spin. It's just something new on an old Thanksgiving classic.
So mac and cheese is your favorite? Is that what you're saying? Or?
I mean, it's got to be the mac and cheese, dog. Like if everything else sucks, but I'm like, this mac and cheese is banging, and then I got the meat with just whatever, I'm like, I'm okay.
Some ham or some turkey.
I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? So I would say the mac and cheese, but God, that's hard. But yeah, mac and cheese.
I'm gonna be a little different. I'm gonna name a few different things right here.
Okay.
So first thing. Now let me hit on my points real quick. The first thing, and I want y'all to talk about this as well after I go. The most important thing on my plate is the macaroni and cheese mixed with the sweet potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is the upper echelon of Thanksgiving in itself. When you sit now, I know some people I don't want my food touching. I'm not that guy.
I'm also not that guy.
When you put them next to each other and you get that crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I just thought of something. Go ahead.
Now, I will say, me personally, at my Thanksgiving, my favorite dish is the thing that my mom makes every year, and it's broccoli casserole, broccoli cheese casserole.
I remember.
Okay.
And it's fire. Mm-hmm. And the reason I like it is because, it's like got that creaminess, the cheesiness, crazy.
Yeah.
Now, the thing, since you said cranberry sauce, that would be my number one. Another hot take right here.
Oh, God.
Depending on the way it's done, keep the turkey off my plate, bro.
I think even if the turkey's a hair dry, I think
it's Thanksgiving.
But granted, I am a dark meat turkey eater, so typically that meat isn't going to be as dry. Now, if the breast meat or the white meat is dry, I'm probably gonna walk away from it personally. But I do go towards the thighs.
I've had a fried turkey and a smoked turkey, and I've enjoyed those. But like just like your regular like oven baked turkey, you're gonna get like a piece of the breast. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I never eat it.
It is dry.
It's like the last thing I go. Like I feel like I'm forcing it.
Yeah. This is what I did, man. So I made a turkey. I guess it's been a couple years ago. I brined it in this big old cooler, and I did this whole thing with it. And then I put butter under the skin, and I injected the turkey as well.
Fire.
Now that was a little bit different. The breast was very, it was very flavorful.
Yeah.
It was good. But in general, some people just slap the turkey in there and they put a little bit of thyme on it and a little bit of butter, and that's it. Like, I don't know, man. It is what it is. Now, give me the ham on the plate, though.
Ham's fire.
And guess what? Give me a deviled egg on that thing too. Give me a deviled egg.
A Schroeder family staple for Thanksgiving is
raccoon ankles.
No, actually, we
really
we got, no. We got rid of that one.
Oh,
hard to get, but I would say for us, one thing that we do that's maybe unique compared to, we also do prime rib. That's one thing that we love to do.
That's a good move, bro. That's a good move.
Shout out to Big Tom, Big Tommy.
Tommy Schroeder, baby.
doing one this year, so he's hype. But for a while, my family we went to a place. They did like a Thanksgiving brunch. Word. And they had the best prime rib ever.
Yeah.
So we've emulated that as well. So I think that's one on the meat side.
Yeah.
You know, talk about some roast beef, some prime rib.
I did want to hit. Do y'all like any specific combinations on your plate?
Oh, what you said with the whole
Macaroni
mac and cheese and
yeah.
the hams, bro, or the sweet potatoes.
I think too. It's like if you get like get that Hawaiian roll, you fillet that Hawaiian roll open, or that yeast roll or whatever.
Butterfly
that joint open.
Yeah.
Little mashed potatoes.
Yep.
Little green bean casserole.
Mm-hmm.
And then the meat of your choice. If you got some turkey that's hitting, some turkey or the ham or both.
And then dip it in the cranberry.
No, I'd dip it in nothing.
Or the gravy.
You know what? All this talk, all this food talk is making me hungry. So I don't know about you all, but I'm about to sign out and I'm gonna go get something to eat. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys. Some mac and cheesington.
Not cranberry sauce.
Not cranberry. Okay. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in once again. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. We love you guys. We're out. See ya.
Peace.
Thank you guys for watching. We really appreciate your guys' support. If you like what you're seeing, please check us out on
YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook.
Yeah, and one last thing, another shout out, another thank you to Happy Hour Bar and Liquor Store here in Nicholasville, Kentucky. You guys come check this place out. It's great. Thanks.
3 Kings Bourbon wishes you to drink like a king, but to act like one also. Please drink safely and responsibly.